Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Attila Total War. My name is Matt Truesdale, and today we're going to be playing with the Lakhmids, and I'm just assuming that's how you say it. The Lakhmids. The Lakhmids. Who knows? Anyways, we're going to be playing on very hard. I'm not good enough to play on legendary. In fact, I'm not great on very hard, but I appreciate a really good challenge. I wanted to play as the Lakhmids because I feel like it's a really underrated campaign. I've seen a lot of criticism about this campaign online, saying it's boring, you don't make any money, you just sit in your capital, you know, maybe you have one or two settlements, you're diplomatically tied to the Sassanids, and there's not a whole lot that you're doing every turn, and it's not a super fast opening. I've actually played as the Lakhmids a few times, and every time I've played, it's been completely different, not by my choice. It's, I think, a really interesting campaign because there's so many things that could just go terribly wrong, completely screw you over, and you have to, really be scrappy in this campaign. And I enjoy a good challenge. I think it's interesting. Over here in the description, it talks about, being tied to the Sassanids, and it talks about being well insulated from southern Arabia. I would argue that being tied to the Sassanids, at least in what I've played so far, has not really benefited you in this. In my experience, the Sassanids love to take your money, and then at the first sign of trouble will just abandon you. Being so close to the Romans, you do get pulled into that war, which has actually benefited me at least a little bit in the beginning. But what I've noticed is that pretty much in all the games I play, almost everyone winds up hating you in some way, shape, or form. It's hard to keep good diplomatic relations with all of your neighbors. There's some interesting story dilemmas that come up with the Sassanid Empire as well. I'd say one of the key challenges with this campaign, definitely the need for money, conserving money. You don't get a whole lot. You start in a minor city within the region, and within this Arabia region, the major city, of course, is Yathrib, or Yathrib, however you say it. Down here is actually desolate, so it does take quite an initial investment to get that going. And there's, of course, a lot of space between all these settlements, so it's important to make sure that your generals have good campaign movement in order to get back. And I think that actually cancels out. I mean, the game is essentially arguing, well, there's so much space between the Himyarites and the Mazoon and you that you have a pretty good buffer there. I would argue that it takes them a while to get up there, but it takes you equally long to get your army back to back to your capital from wherever you have it, and it is difficult to support more than one good army, at least in the early stages of this game. Over here on the cultural traits, of course, with the Desert Kingdoms DLC, you have the Sunscorched, which gives you +2 sanitation, of course, is always nice. There's also a whatever you call that, one of those things you get to pick for your region, that allows you to add more sanitation as well. You're also immune to desert attrition, very important, obviously, since you spend all your time in the desert. Scourge of the Desert plus 15 melee attack. That's insane. Literally insane. I don't believe the Sassanids have that, actually. No. 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 So the Sassanids don't have that. And that's to your benefit because, I mean, you're going to wind up fighting them at some point. The Romans definitely don't have it, so that's a nice benefit. Fractured Faiths, increased public order penalty for religious differences. I think one of the themes with the whole Desert Kingdoms DLC was religion. I think that brought an interesting, brought some interesting things to Attila. And so, of course, that is one of the key challenges, particularly with the Lakhmids. If you thought that religious differences were bad with these other kingdoms, the Lakhmids, it's just awful. Very difficult to have positive public order, at least within the first part of the game. So that'll definitely be a challenge, but it'll be a fun challenge. So for the faction trait, we have City of Culture, subsidized peace, plus 500 wealth per turn while at peace with the Sassanids. So I have a little bit of a hard time believing that that's 500 wealth per turn. I mean 6 turns later, you've stacked 500 wealth every turn, and it's like a city. I think it's really just a static 500 wealth, and to be honest, I'm not sure how this plays in. It's something I've never actually looked at in game, so maybe I'll try to figure out where does this 500 wealth, like where is it reflected on the UI. And then Heavenly Cities, 25% increased replenishment inside a settlement. Very nice benefit. So they definitely have an interesting setup here. Let's go ahead and get started. So just in general, some of the criticisms were of the Lakhmid campaign were correct. There are, in fact, a lot of turns where you don't really do anything. You can't do anything. And just for the sake of your sanity, I will definitely be editing out the pause between turns. That would be a nightmare for you to sit through that while you're watching this on your smartphone. And I think my overall strategy for this campaign is going to be I'm gonna try to stick with the Sassanids for as long as possible. For the sake of stability, I think I'm going to take advantage of the war with Rome and try to take a lot of the Palestinian cities. I'm not too interested in moving into Arabia Felix in the early game. I'm hoping happened a couple times before. Generally, if they do, the Sassanids are not too interested in helping. So, yeah, that's going to be my early game goal. Of course, dealing with the religious unrest, try to make as much money as possible, but it's going to be a scrappy campaign. Some of you might be wondering why the heck I'm still playing Attila when Warhammer's out. I mean, it's like, I don't know, halfway through 2017. But the truth is, I have no interest in fantasy games. Unless they made if they made a Song of Ice and Fire 1, I'd probably do that. What the heck is up with this? Why is this loading so slowly? Must be the video recording software. Oh, no, there it goes. Okay. Excellent. I think that there'd be so many opportunities for a Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, Total War. I think it'd be really interesting. I think they could do a lot with the puppet states, the faction politics. I think they could do a lot with the way you recruit. Calling your banners, calling your puppet states to help you or to provide your army with men, rather than the traditional recruitment we've seen for the past all of the Total War games. I think if you think about the way the Game of Thrones works as well, just talking about the feudal system, I think the way that it's set up there is you have several very small, unwealthy lords reporting to other lords, reporting to other lords, and eventually you reach the one of the major families. I think that sort of layered system. I don't know. I just think there's so much you could do with faction politics in that situation.
Although a new kingdom, your capital city Hera is renowned for its beauty, lauded as a
Not
wonder
excited
of
about
Arabic
Warhammer.
culture, causing many tribes to unashamedly place themselves under your protection. The Sassanids, once your sworn foe, now count you as their most powerful strategic assets. No doubt due to your proximity to the Roman border. Only Rome's Ghassanid allies prevent you from capturing the fertile settlements of the Mediterranean coast, and so must be dispatched as soon as possible. Seize these lands on the Sassanids' behalf, and consider converting to Zoroastrianism.
Nope, not converting.
Alternatively, take advantage of Persian haughtiness, exploiting the rift caused by your recent conversion to Christianity, to break free from your overlords and forge an independent superpower of your own.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I have no interest in going to Zoroastrianism. I know that theoretically that could help relations, right, with the Sassanid Empire. So, religious aversion, -30. I don't know. I feel like Eastern Christianity provides a lot of benefits, particularly their minor settlement buildings allow for a reduction on upkeep cost, which is extremely important considering that you don't have any money. So I don't plan to convert to Zoroastrianism. I'm hoping to stay with the Sassanid Empire for as long as possible, though, so we'll see how it plays out. So those of you who've never played as the Lakhmids, you start out with some of the standard Desert Kingdom units. Desert Levy, of course, the crappy spear unit, medium spear infantry. I always go into the tech tree and level those up to Desert Spears almost right away. Once they're Desert Spears, I think they're a pretty decent unit. I mean, I'd use them most of the game. Well, maybe not. But still, they don't have spear walls, so I mean, they're not amazing. You have some Desert Bowmen, pretty standard. Desert Hurlers, we've seen those before. Camel Warriors, of course, we've seen, as well as Desert Mounted Skirmishers. Some of the unique units you get right off the bat, the Lakhmid Scouts. I actually think that the Sassanid Empire has access to these. But either way, I think they're a pretty decent cav. They're a little bit expensive, but I like to use them. Then you have these guys, the Al-Rahrain. And they're a mace unit. I shouldn't have done that. My computer never loads. Oh, there it goes. Oh, surprisingly good. Okay. So, 25 melee damage. I think that's a good portion of that is armor piercing. So, I mean, the base damage is not that great. Melee attack's pretty high. Um, Defense and armor, good charge bonus, and I think they do have shield wall, so pretty good health. Not so great morale. I mean, overall, they're kind of an interesting unit. I think with shield wall, they'd be good, as a nice defensive unit, but they don't have great defensive stats. The high melee attack does help them out from the shield wall perspective, but they're so expensive. I mean, I'm not going to make the main line out of these guys, so I'll have to test them out in the field, see how they do as flankers, or maybe sometime down the road I can use them on the main line. So, we'll check out our family. Our king is El Numan, and he is good with replenishment, so he's a logistics expert. Okay. That's always good. He is 43 years old. Then we have El Mundir, the son, who has wealth from industrial buildings. So we're going to go ahead and make him the governor. Because he's got that ability. What other guys have? Another replenishment guy. And Jaffna has... Okay, agent recruitment. We're not going to be recruiting agents anytime soon, so that's useless. Alright, and within our settlement, we have a hamlet. We have a camel herd, which, by the way, is good for food and pretty decent in terms of wealth. And a levy center, which gives us pretty good access early on to some good troops. But the first order of business is we need to take care of this settlement. Now, these guys have a pretty similar army. They just have the base desert tribesmen as their melee unit. Same desert hurlers. I think they have 3 camel warriors, whereas we have 2. And then desert mounted skirmishers. I don't know what these 2 cav units are, but pretty similar army. We're going to have to pretty much immediately get over there. And in fact, a lot of times they will come out and just attack you, so I'm going to stock up on some mercenaries. Yeah, what the heck, I'll take those guys too. Okay, so we are already in the red. I'm going to go ahead and recruit. So we have some flankers, we have 4. So one more of those. We have enough cav. Let's get an Armenian slinger. So if they come and attack us, we won't have those 2 units, but we'll at least have a bunch of mercs. I'm okay right now with losing money because you have to take the settlement. There's no question. If you don't take that, Assassinids will take it, and then you'll never have it. Social climber.
The necessary burdens of diplomacy.
Brutal. Integrity -2. That's really important. Public order -4. Oh my god. No, that's not worth it. Acid tongue. He may have been a general, but he's still an indolent, pathetic little horse-dung excuse of a man. Wow. Okay, whatever. It's not the greatest wife, but... Hello. Come on. Can't run out of money too soon, though. That's the thing. No. Oh. Oh. Okay, there we go. Well, maybe now that we have a trade agreement, he'll like us a little more. But I have a 1,400, so about 2,200 gold right now. 2,277. I'm losing about 350 a turn. So I lose about 700 after about 2 turns. Yeah. Okay. Let's just give this one more shot. No. Okay. Well, we definitely need a wife for our king. Our king does not have a wife. Anyways, let's go ahead. Oh my God, minus 33. See what I'm telling you? Minus 33. I mean, sheesh. All right. Let's do an edict. We're gonna need the state religion right away, so I'm gonna pick that one. Right, because the other one is sanitation and research. This one. Wealth from commercial, wealth from industrial. We have no commercial, we have no industrial, so that doesn't help us at all. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn. Okay, so they did not come out and attack us. They did build up their forces. So I'm now 674 in the red per turn, but I have a full stack now. I definitely gotta get over there and wait. Can this guy do anything? Can hinder the army. Misdirect reduces the campaign movement range. Well, that doesn't help at all. Can he do anything to the city? No. Alright. Alright, those are not great chances. And to be honest, I am terrible at siege battles. So, let's encircle them. I wonder what happens. These are the most expensive ones, right? Okay. If I get rid of these guys, and then I get this, does that help? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that helps. Okay. Of course, now that I've done that, I think I am going to have to definitely attack this, because
none will escape.
The issue is I'm now way in the red. I'm actually going to be bankrupt. So if I don't attack this turn, first if I get rid of it,
laying siege to the settlement.
I don't like auto-resolving when it's this close, but I'm going to have to. Alright, so we have, they have a missile advantage, but I have the onager. So, I'm thinking balanced. Should I do aggressive? I should do aggressive. Yeah, let's do aggressive. Let's do aggressive. Oh! Oh, okay, alright. We got it. Mission accomplished. We lost a ton of men, but that's okay. We recuperate very quickly, remember? That's one of our faction traits. So now I can actually get rid of all of my mercenaries. I guess I didn't have... here we go, mercenary and an onager. Alright. Alright, we are now in the green. Yeah, I like these guys. They're just so much money. There's so much money. Same with these. Do I really need these guys right now? How much are they? 400. Yeah, I'm gonna recruit those guys later. I can't recruit these guys yet, but they are literally so much money. I'll keep them for now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the replenishment's not urgent. We definitely want the public order. I'm inclined to go for public order +4, but the campaign movement range is also very important. So, plus with authority. Oh, that's only for governed province. Oh well. All right. So, within the city, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that levy camp because we have one. The camel herd we will repair for now. We'll also repair the hamlet, of course. That leaves us with 1354. Is that enough for a wife
Please
now?
be seated and take wine to cool the head before we hit
That's
the
the
day with
question.
words.
I will trade you all of my money for a wife. Ah! Okay. That's okay. Do the Himyar want to trade?
Welcome, friend.
No.
Let us conclude our business with good haste, and then enjoy the pleasures of this house.
Doubt they want to trade now either. Nope. Okay. Those guys definitely don't want to trade. I guess that's about it. Who likes us the most? Okay. Sassanid Empire, Parthia, and Mazoon. You guys don't have any wives,
I must
do you? Ooh, you
extend
do.
the most magnificent welcome to you and your honorable people. What
Yeah.
wisdom do you bring?
No. Of course they reject that. Do you have
I
any
must
wives? No.
extend
Do you have any
the
wives?
pleasures of
Do you have any
Please.
wives? Once we get in the yellow. Alright. We're going to have more money next turn, especially with demolishing that building. Food-wise, we're not doing too bad. We'll be even better once we fix this place. And then at that point, we're going to want to upgrade to the village because you get a much better bevy, a much better garrison. But okay, successful turn. Oh, real quick, let's look at our objectives, by the way. So they want us to have 15 units in total. Right now we have 13. I promise you we'll get there to 15. We need to research centralized authority, which we will. They want us to defeat the Gassanids. We did. Research equipment trade. So that's right here. And we will get there. I don't think it's particularly useful, but hey, it's $1,000, 1,000 talents, whatever you want to call it. This is the one I usually never do because it wants me to have a military presence in Arabia Felix, and I just don't see. No, no, I'm not going to do that. All right, let's end the turn. Okay, we are back. We have developed levied troops. We can now levy troops. I don't know what we were doing before that. But anyways, we can upgrade from Desert Levy to Desert Spears, which is very nice. They're more expensive, but it is worth it. We also demolished our levy camp, and the Afrigids are at war with the White Huns. It's to be expected. Okay, so let's move our spy over here into Roman territory.
Ready for order.
We're going to go ahead and upgrade those guys. We're going to research centralized authority over here. So what I like to build now is the Desert Hermitage. You get public order bonus, so it's the same as Zoroastrian one. Consumes the same amount of food, except you get minus 10% upkeep for units in the region. I mean, that's huge. And then you get +3 influence to Eastern Christianity, whereas the Sacred Site only gives you +1 to Zoroastrianism. So, I mean, maybe... 9 public order, for Zoroastrianism and priests. I guess they get one more building. This one only goes up to 6 public order in the end. 7 influenced Eastern Christianity, but 30% upkeep in the region. I mean, wow. 30%. I guess this one consumes 50 food. How much does this consume? 50. So, I don't know. It's not even... Eastern Christianity is so worth it. I mean, there's no argument there. So we're going to do that. I think the other thing we have to consider at this point is, for one, we're going to want to upgrade to a village at some point. We don't have the money. We'll probably upgrade Hira just because it's more important. It's our capital. The other thing we should consider is switching one of these camel herds over to a sheep flock, because you actually get you're having your food, which, you know, don't get me wrong, food is pretty scarce in this campaign. I mean, you're not flowing in food, but you also don't have a lot of money. So the additional wealth with the sheep flock, you're getting 510 wealth versus 300 from the camel herd. So we might switch one of them to a sheep flock. I'm thinking Dumatha, probably. Because then if we lose it, we're not losing quite as much food. We definitely don't want a famine. That would be much worse. But if we lose that settlement, it's not the end of the world. So we could do that this turn. However, first I want to see if I can get a wife.
Greetings, most excellent friend.
So, oh no, no!
Before your own hard farms.
The Sassanids, do they still have, please? No, they don't.
You have my full attention.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare. So now...
In my Lord's name, be welcome. And may the blessings of
Oh, that's so not worth it. The zeal is definitely not worth it. This one could be worse, but I'd much rather have authority than zeal. I mean... And it's not like the husband's getting personal influence. It's just... I'm gonna take my chances. I'm gonna take my chances with Seek Wife. Where is it? Right here. Cost 20. He can spare it. And you know what? Why not you two? Alright, now the other thing we did not do was make some people over here, provide some offices. So this guy doesn't have enough. This guy doesn't have enough influence, or whatever this is called, influence, yeah, to go in there. But that's okay. We got one guy in there. We're gonna get cheaper construction costs and improved public order, which we desperately need. Right now we're at minus 25, and you can remember on turn 1 we were at 90. So you can see how quickly that goes down. This is really, really going to become a problem. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. And I couldn't get the wife, so I'm going to go ahead and transition this to a sheep flock. And we are good. Can my spy go any further? Just a hair. I think this Attila is probably where we want to go when we get a chance. They have gemstones, so that's pretty awesome. Does anyone else want to trade? Here we are. I don't think they like us enough, and we're deteriorating. Yeah, our trade options kind of suck, but whatever. All right, let's end the turn. Oh, I want to recruit. Actually, disband that guy. It's just so much money. This army is so expensive. I'm going to recruit a couple of these guys. Oh, I don't have the money. So I'll add one of those guys in there. Okay. There we go. Back. We can see the worthy bride thing, and let's determine if in fact she is a worthy bride. She's 19 years old. She doesn't look too spectacular from that picture, although her hair kind of blends in, so I don't know, I have terrible eyes. I can't really even see what her hair looks like. And she's going to be married to our king, who is also 19. No, this is our prince. Our prince is 19. Okay. Or heir, whatever you want to call him. Okay, so she gets her own influence, and then he loses a cunning. No, that's absolutely awful. Okay, so Al Numan, we don't even get to pick. Let's see who he wound up with. God, I know it's going to be god-awful. Oh, God. -1 of authority. Oh. It's absolutely awful. I want to initiate some divorce. It costs 20. Maybe I'll have some kids first. Okay. Let's move this guy over here. See what we have going on. So, pretty small garrison. Kind of happy. Not a whole lot going on in terms of buildings. Negative sanitation. Oh, that's not good. Alright. Let's come up here. What kind of armies do we have over here? Rome. I guess I'm not seeing any armies. Okay. Alright. I could have sent him down here, but nobody goes here. That'll be open. That'll be open for us when we want it. We don't have any money to do anything else. Where is all that squalor coming from? 6 of squalor? No, that can't be right. Where is that squalor? How? Is that... Where's that squalor coming from? I don't know. You can see religious differences, though. That's a big deal. Where do I get... How do I get these details? No. I don't know. If somebody knows how to get the squalor details, you should put that in the comments, because I don't know where that's coming from. We don't... whatever. I don't know. Does he have a trait? As governor? No. No idea. Speaking of which, where is our 500 wealth coming in? From, we having 500 wealth? From our subsidized wealth? I don't see it. Summary. Profit. Taxes. Interest. How do you get interest? Huh. So we're only paying 450 to the Sassanids. Oh, wait. That's just upkeep. I think that's it. Diplomacy Overlord. Tribute 0. Yeah, I think that must be it. So, other. 3213. I don't even know what that means. What would be other? Where's that coming from? Maybe that's the tribute. Oh, no, that's the upkeep. Okay, so the upkeep carries down. Okay. Alright. Whatever. I don't know where the wealth goes in. Who knows if it's real? Okay. Let's... we're only making 915 a turn. That's just a nightmare. Alright. I'm getting rid of these guys. Like, no way. They're not that good. Okay. Okay, we are back. Our Imperium went up somehow. I think it's because we researched a couple technologies that makes us awesome somehow. Political gain, so we can block the promotion or do nothing. I prefer to do nothing, actually, because I actually want more castellans, so I know I lose a little control, but that's fine. So we have centralized authority. We're going to go ahead and research equipment trade because that gets us 1,000 talents. And what else? Unseasonal conditions. Then we got a wooden sword. So over here, as you can see, we can now upgrade our our column here, which I'm highly recommending that we do that. That's going to consume 20 more food than we have now, which would put us down to 45. So if I went from here to... Oh my god, that's very little. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do this first, though, because our public order is becoming a problem. And pretty soon we're going to have a rebellion. Nothing I can do about that. I could lower taxes. Lowered taxes, what would be minus 15? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Look, my treasury, my income's not really that affected by it, so I'm going to keep taxes pretty low. That's going to help our growth as well. So all good things. One of these days, the Sassanids are going to declare war on the Romans, and then we're going to have some territories we can take over, so excited about that. As a matter of state, we have the gift of speed. We've seen this a few hundred times before. So we could stud the horses and send them to the army. We could ignore him. We could sell them. Yeah, I've never tried to sell them before. I honestly need that more than the other effects, so let's see if we net any money from that. See what happens. And again, there's just not a whole lot to do this turn. Unfortunately, I was hoping that by now the Sassanids would be declaring war on the Romans, and it just has not happened. And to be honest, because we are a satrapy or puppet state, we cannot declare war on anyone, or war with a couple of these, but who gives a crap? We're not going up there. And the White Huns, of course. So, there's really just not a whole lot we can do right now. I know I said this campaign was exciting. I still think it is. But there's just not a lot going on at the moment. But we'll see. I was hoping to get a battle in for y'all to see. I auto-resolved the only battle we had. So, sorry about that. Yeah, but we'll have a rebellion coming up soon. I can crush them. Oh, we have an unassigned skill. Look at that. So yeah, I want all the public order. That's the thing. We are back, and as a result of selling the horses, we got 1,000 talents. So that's great. Our agent was exposed, but who gives a crap? I don't care about impressing the Romans particularly, so it looks like the Tanu kids have settled down into this city, Emesa. I'm just going to keep exploring around here because it's not a whole lot to do. I do have the money, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade Hira to a village. And then next turn, our stylized column. No, stylized. What is it? Stylite or stylite. The column, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be done. So we're going to get some good bonuses. We're going to get upkeep down even further. So right now we're 2140. We're going to get another 10%. So it's going to go down to what, 19 something, right? It's going to go down by 214, 215-ish. So it'll be like 1900. Another couple $100 in our treasury. Our public order will start to stabilize, as you can see in the village scroll here. Eastern Christianity is on the up and up. We're getting 2.5% per turn, and once that column's done, we're going to do even better than that. Our sheep flock is making us some money, and we're upgrading our town. So why don't I go ahead and end the episode here, and hope that that next time we do something. This campaign's making a liar out of me, and I'm not a liar. So, all right, till next time.